Everyone, this is Ron, and I'm back with another episode of the Daily Drone Beat. And this is September 1st, 2021. And here over at my channel, I cover a lot of tech-related gear, including drones, GoPros, Insta360 cameras, other Apple gear. So it's a lot of tech going on here, but I got some drone stuff to talk about today, and just kind of an informal talk here. Just recently, not Hey Castellou, he wrote a story on this, but Ositalev dropped some images on Twitter concerning the Mavic 3. Some images, some drawings, we'll call them, like the camera and stuff in front, and you see a good deal of a drawing of a drone, and also a let me get the name right here, a YouTuber or somebody out of Portugal, I think, or anyhow, the Portuguese speaking country, drone model Ismo, best I can pronounce his name. They've been breaking a lot of leaks and rumors. Whether this stuff is true or not, this could just be all rumors. I can't speak to how correct this information is, or who the source of it is, or whatever, but it seems some of these informations are coming from a couple different unrelated sources, so maybe there's something to it, maybe there's not. Like I said, anything you're hearing in this video is me purely speculating off of stuff I read on the internet. No inside knowledge, haven't talked to anybody, haven't seen any prototypes or anything like that. So, but there's some interesting things here as far as what's come out with. And one of the things they talked about was it's going to have a new collision system. I'm going to hold up the old Mavic 2 Pro here, and where they have the sensors here, like here and here, and on the back, and there's some on the side here, as you can see here. Let me rearrange my windows on my computer a little bit. Side sensors here, but this the drawings whatever seem to think they're going to have sensors just on the four sides of the drone, and that'll give it like a 360 type of optical avoidance with just the four sensors on it. And I don't know if they also mean it's going to have downward sensors too, so that'll be extra sensors. I don't know, but it's going to be a different type of we'll say scheme here with putting the sensors on the four corners that give it a 360. And the value of that is the less sensors on the drone, the less battery power they will use, and the less processor they will use, processor intensive tasks they will use in the drone. So I mean, they can do this. It's a win-win on the processor and the battery if they can cut down the amount of sensors, but still get themselves like a 360 obstacle avoidance, field of view. So that's a good thing if this is true. And what else did they talk about here? Sorry, I should just wing this, because when I read the notes is when I get thrown off here. Let's talk about the camera. Now this is the Mavic 2 Pro, the 1-inch sensor camera on it. It's not a dual camera. It's not a zoom camera. It's just kind of a fixed camera. But what the rumors for the Mavic 3 is a Hasselblad dual camera, and we're used to having dual on enterprise level drones, but not on prosumer consumer type drones. And what they talk about on the top is going to have a 7x zoom camera. Now I haven't heard rumors saying whether it's going to be optical or digital zoom. I have heard somebody say it's going to be lossless zoom, so that I'm assuming that would be a digital camera then, if you're talking lossless. So I mean, if it gets 7 stops of lossless zoom on a digital camera, I mean that's pretty darn good, right? And the bottom half of the camera, will be the lower part, will be a 5.7K 24 millimeter with a aperture of f2.8 to leave in plenty of light, and a 24 millimeter lens. It's wide without being GoPro wide or fisheye wide or whatever, but wide enough to get a lot of landscape in. So it's a good lens, and but people who want the wide lens, here's the good news: they say it's going to come with a 16mm adapter lens to put on there to give you that more real wide field of view, almost like a GoPro, or a real good wide angle lens on a say a DSL full frame DSL camera. So I know a lot of rumors have been, or a lot of people, maybe not rumors, but a lot of people have been wishing for a micro four thirds camera sensor on this camera, on this drone, and it looks like these rumors aren't going that way. This is probably just going to be a one-in sensor we've been used to, like an improved one, but still a one-in sensor. So again, if you were hoping for a micro four thirds, it could still be coming. This could all be false rumors, but we're going to go with this story. Here's another thing to talk about. It's going to have an Apple ProRes format support. That's a high-end Kodak Apple uses, for it's Final Cut Pro, and anybody can license the Apple ProRes Kodak out for their their cameras or stuff like that. But I know it's pretty expensive and adds a high cost to a lot of gear. So I'm not sure how they can DJI can do this without increasing the cost of the drone. But I mean, I'm really not not expert in anything, but I'm really not qualified to talk about Apple ProRes licensing on other devices or whatever, but it just seems a little confusing. Sorry, my niece is here. She's doing some kind of a school report, so the printer in the office here is working real hard today. Okay, here's something interesting. It's going to have 1 terabyte of internal memory, and some sources say no memory card. So this is kind of like taken right from the Hubsan Azito Mini Pro, which got rid of the memory card slot in favor of large internal storage. So it looks like this is a wave of the future. I know a lot of people complained about losing the SD card, but it looks like that's the way things are going to be going in the future, at least on the high-end drones. So take that, as long as they have a quick way of transmitting the stuff off that internal drive to the computer. I mean, I've done it with the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic Air 2 with their built-in 8 gigabyte external. I just hook it up to my Mac through the USB into the computer, and it disappears as an external hard drive, and I just drop and drag the files over. So I've never found an issue with it. I know some people like the memory card, and I'm not saying that good or bad on that either way or whatever. So I usually put the memory card in myself too. So okay, moving along here, they talk about a 40-minute flight time, and this is good. I mean, the Mavic 2 Pro, I think, advertises somewhere in the lower 30s, lower the mid 30s, and the Air 2S also, somewhere in the lower the mid 30s. And they also talk about a 5,000 to 6,000 milliamp battery. This is the battery from the Mavic 2 Pro. And this is sorry, the print's really small here. Hold on, folks. A 3850 milliamp battery. So we're talking, if it is 6,000, we're talking considerably bigger battery than what we're getting in the current Mavic 2 Pro. Now, compared to this is an Altel Evo 2 battery, which is a 700 milliamp battery. So that's even much bigger than what these specs are for the Mavic 3 battery. And of course, the Evo 2 Pro advertises over 40-minute flight time, and it gets, we don't get 40 minutes in the air, but we get well into the in the 30s. I'm going to say, I've seen it hit above 35 for the flight time. I don't do a lot of time battery testing or whatever, but I've seen it hit in the upper 30s before. So anyhow, that's interesting news of the battery. I'd been hoping for a little bit more battery time, since the Evo 2 Pro is a drone that's a year and a half old. It had 40 minutes of battery life, so maybe the Mavic 3, especially since it's not even out yet, maybe should have pushed that envelope a little bit. Maybe we should be looking at 45, 50 minutes. Just a thought. I mean, I know some people say 40's plenty, and they're probably right, but we always like to see specs pushed up a little bit each generation, so just saying. And they talk about the battery amount, that instead of, you know, coming down from the top like on the Mavic 2 Pro, that you will put the battery in the back, you know, like you do on well, this is you know, from the top too. I don't have a good drone here, but the battery will slot in the back, I guess, kind of like the Evo 2 Pro, rather than coming down from the top. I don't have the Evo 2 Pro sitting here, but the battery goes in the back. And they also talk about this having the Mavic, the Air 2 remote, the same remote that the Air 2 series and the DJI Mini 2 uses. So this will, you know, be different from the controller that came with the Mavic 2, which had a built-in LCD screen on it with telemetry on it. So unless they modify this to put the LCD screen in it for the Mavic 3, you will now lose that telemetry on the controller with the Mavic 3. Whether that's, you know, good, bad, you can live with that, I don't know. I mean, it was nice having the telemetry on the Mavic 2 Pro controller. Was it a deal killer that it wasn't there? I wouldn't say so, but it's certainly nice having it. So, and then of course there's rumors of a smart controller too. That would, you know, probably come at the same time as the Mavic 3, and maybe even like they'll even have a kit where you can buy that instead of the standard controller, which I did that with the Mavic 2 Pro. I don't have the standard controller, I only have the smart controller. So you know, that's definitely something to consider too. I mean, we've been looking for a new smart controller for a while. A lot of us know that using the current smart controller, the touchscreen is very slow, you know, to react, and you know, it's hard to do screen recording at the same time as flying and recording video. You know, it kind of hogs resources under power processor. You know, we've talked about this before, so everybody's looking forward to a new smart controller with a bigger screen and a faster internal processor. So you know, hopefully that comes too. Now, you know, what's not said here, but I've heard other places that we're maybe looking at an October timeline on this drone. I know a couple months ago we were saying that the drone was going to be pushed back to Q1 of 2022, and that actually the final production of this Mavic 3 would not go into really heavy production until October this year. But now it's switching around again, and maybe this is going to show up in October of 2021. So maybe we're seeing another interruption in the timeline here, you know, for this Mavic 3. So that's a very interesting late addition to all this. So I think that, you know, the biggest news here to me is a lot of this stuff, you know, like better obstacle avoidance, more flight time. That's all just stuff you expect that every generation around are going to make all that stuff better, battery better, bigger internal memory. These are all just kind of incremental upgrades here. But, you know, the camera is, you know, this is a camera bird, and the camera is one of the things people focus on, especially people that make their living, you know, flying these drones, whether it's real estate, you know, construction, agriculture, whatever. Well, you're making money with your drone. The camera is usually the key thing. I mean, you know, when somebody hires you for a job, they don't care if your drone has obstacle avoidance or, you know, 1 terabyte of internal memory. They just need, you know, good photos, good videos. You know, yes, I think the camera is the most, you know, important upgrade here. And I think having that zoom on it, whether it's digital or optical, as long as the digital is lossless up to 7 times, I think that's going to be a big selling point for many people who want to zoom. Some for pleasure, some for business, but I think that's important. And also, adding the other camera, the 1-inch sensor with the good specs of 24 millimeter and the 2.8 aperture is a great thing. And adding that wide angle lens adapter to it is also huge. So, I really think, that's to me it'd be the point that I buy this drone. Now, we haven't got any rumor on pricing here in these latest rounds, but the early speculation was this was going to be a really expensive drone. Almost in way over 2,000, maybe pushing $3,000. But because we're not getting a micro four thirds camera in this thing, that we're getting a dual camera is still is going to take a price increase. But this drone may not be as much as we first thought it would be as far as the pricing. So it may be a little bit more affordable than the early rumors were. Again, this is all rumor here, but so I'm comparing current rumors to older rumors. But okay, I think I've talked enough about the Mavic 3 since it's all speculation at this point. But I want to touch just for a minute on the DJI sent out a thing, an email. It's also, I think, on their website, they have some kind of announcement coming on September 8th, and they show like a little box with a 5 in it. And now, of course, some people are speculating Phantom 5, and that's wishful thinking, probably. I mean, I would love to see a Phantom 5 come out on September 8th, but more than likely it's going to be a OM5. Now, they used to call them the Osmo Mobile, the gimbals that you put your smartphone on. But they've shortened that name as of last year to just OM. So we had the OM4 last year. We're probably going to have the OM5 this year. And I need to say, well, what can they do to a phone gimbal? Well, apparently, what I've just heard recently that they may decrease the size of it. It may be a little more pocketable than it is now, and also it may have an extension handle, like the top part, where the phone goes on. It may have an extendable rod, so you can reach higher and shoot over crowds, fences, anything where you may need a little bit of height. Of course, my first thought is, hey, I'm a drone user. If I got to put something real high, I'll just take the drone up and get it. But not everybody has a drone. I guess not even all DJI people have drones. So anyhow, that's latest, rumors on that. That's all I got there. More pocketable and extension rod on it. So they have filed with the FCC. I always get these big bureaus messed up, but they have Federal Trade. They have filed anyways. So this is a filed thing with the U.S. government now. So it doesn't mean they're actually going to make it, but they have filed. So it's legit. So. Anyways, we're looking forward to that to the 8th, and I guess more leaks of stuff on the Mavic 3. But who knows? Maybe they'll pop the Mavic 3 out in the 8th too. It's my rumor or whatever. So, all right. Thanks for joining me for another daily DroneBeat show here, where we just try to do like a quick little talk on kind of just what's on my mind, or what's on the minds of people I've been talking to lately. So let me know what you think. If you want me to do a daily DroneBeat about anything else, let me know down below, and we will, see it on the next episode. Have a good day, everyone.